All right, welcome back, everybody. Obviously, we are going into the Gravidia mirror match. I am going to be commentating for just a little bit while Frankie's taking care of some business. You know, been a long day. He's had to wake up early just to get everything set up, so I'm going to be taking the lead here. So on the left, we do have Giovanni Acosta playing Gravidia, as well as David, who's on the right. Both of them kind of have a similar deck. Giovanni, I think, has a little bit of personal choices that are different than David's. So here we are, where this little goblin that you wouldn't think would be doing much in Gravidia is being able to repopulate the Baki burrito. And then he's going to give the 5k so that it can hit the Vanguard. So right now the power that we have, so this is swinging for 10 at the rear guard. So Gio's just going to let the card die. And then he does guard he guards all of the attacks. He doesn't want the Shadow Army token to die. I like to say in the Gravidia mirror is that the Shadow Army token is kind of your bread and butter, because it is the only 15k attack that you will have.
So here we're fighting Gravidia.
Yep, Gravidia mirror. So obviously Gio against David. They have pretty much similar deck lists, except I don't think that Gio is running with Goblin. That is meant for Eva's deck.
The time's going to be a little bit off, guys, but we just want to keep a good idea of how close we are to the time.
Yep. So like I was telling chat, the Shadow Army token is probably one of the bread and butter things that you can have playing Gravidia, obviously. Gravidia needs very, very good numbers to be able to push consistently in the deck. So here we are. Gio's immediately going into the 5 meteor play.
So yeah, we are going to be coming in with the
video
world
double
setup that
heal.
seems to have not changed.
No.
In the last half a year.
No. I think that there has been additions to the deck, but there has never been a change to the base list, obviously. And
here we go. Try checking no trigger, but getting another Gravidia, confirming Persona Ride for next turn.
see, but the big thing that he did get here is he went from 2 to 0 because of the double heal.
Yeah, we're going to see David go to 3 and start up his next turn. Is it me or their fields feel very whiter than usual?
Well, they are using their own mats, but I do think that their fields are a little bit going off the camera view, but that's okay, as long as our judge over there knows that everything's going well. So here we are. David refilled the soul for Gravidia now. Here he is playing the Baki burrito, being able to play another meteor. And here we are. David is in response doing his own 5 meteor play. I think many Groovidia players now play the deck where you
just do 5 meteors.
You just do 5 meteors.
As many times as possible. And then the one they can't, they'll get it the next turn.
Yeah.
100%. A lot of people, funny enough, are not running the card that you just drove, Shergo.
I do think that people now, Shergo is kind of a... My bad.
No worries. He's currently at 3.
Yes. David's at 3. Gio's at 1. I think that people see Shergo as it's a emergency button for, I don't have any meteors or I need them for your video. Then you play him.
Yeah, I do know. I went into a tournament, actually BCS, where I realized my opponent does not have a Shergo.
Yes, Shergo is something I do think that you can still incorporate into the list because having a non-deck out is still good, even if you're returning bricks such as meteors.
100%.
So honestly, here we are.
This,
go ahead.
So for top 4, like the choices that are coming in are kind of like reminding me of BCS. You know how there's always like 2 of the same, but we actually are going to just have 2 for top 4. What's going to be apparent though, right, is the Flagberg and Groovidia just reappearing in top cut areas, right? And I don't know, I don't think there's an issue with them, right? I just think they're suffering like that Leonard situation.
So I think that this top cut is everybody was playing decks that counter the proverbial best deck in the meta, which was like Kyrie, Bastion, Bruce, any grade 4 deck. These decks kind of just counter because Groovidia has Field Pop, Flagbird has the same thing, but it 3-card guard restrict. So it makes you have to compensate on what you're playing, which I do think it's the same way with Barrow, which is why I chose to play that today.
I kind of look at this and like I think that what changes in set 6? How does this change? Are we still going to see these 2 bash each other to top 10?
So
what I find also interesting too is like there are decks that definitely could be better than them, right? Like example is like, you know, Fegria. We didn't see a single Fegria, I think, this tournament.
We had 2. We had 2 Thegrias that I know of were playing. We had Ethan playing it, and then we had Ricardo. I think those are the only 2 that I seen playing it. But most of the people were playing. I saw a few Shaman Kings, and I think that's another deck that a lot of people don't give credit, like how good that deck actually is. Like the decks from Shaman King.
I think they're too slow. They have really good skills, but they're too slow.
So, in my opinion, I think Faust is the correct amount of speed.
Yes.
Because it's kind of like Orphist, but Orphist doesn't do anything until grade 3, where Faust can do something on grade 2. So here we are, where David 5 meteor played and hit his own double heal. So here we are, Gio and David are now even out in damage. Your stream deck just doesn't want to listen to me.
I'm noticing that. I'm so Brandt. I think we need to. So guys, I'm actually the one that organizes and runs the commentary for Kingslayer, and I'm just realizing that I need more commentators because I am burnt.
Yeah, you wanna play as much as you could, but
yeah. So with the Gravidia play, I feel like the matchup is very like high roll. And I hate to say it because I never want to call it deck high roll unless like I can fully confirm it.
So I think Geo went down to 2. We are seeing a bunch of heals being hit in this match, which is very unlike a Gravidia match, to be honest.
Yeah, where are the crits, guys? Where are the crits?
Where are the crits? I think a funny thing is I've seen lists of Gravidia where they play triggers to like break through guard instead of hitting crits, which is kind of counterproductive.
Hits another heal trigger. We go down to 1.
Hey, we'll be here all day. They'll play a deck out game.
Not again. You know how long that game is? I played through it.
Oh, with the Gravidia.
With Vegria against Gravidia.
Yeah, the deck out game is very rough. So
one mess up can really easily cuck you.
Oh yeah. So David here, he returned 3 meteors, obviously. The Shergo in his favor is making sure that he doesn't deck out. So here, we're going to see what kind of play he's going to do.
He's going to sack 5. Probably not, because there's nothing on the field.
Yeah. If I was in this situation, well, he is sacking 5. In this situation, I think a comfortable amount is sacking 1, but I think they are in the position where they need to start pushing damage on each other. Because, like, of course, you can hit as many heals as you want, but all that matters is if you get your opponent at 6.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking about. I was like, man, if you replace this deck with another over trigger, it's still worse.
Yeah, could you imagine
the blessed favor in here?
Nah, could you imagine having the dark states in here? The dark states one is almost as worse.
There we go. Finally, playing the Gravidia the way it should be with the criticals.
So we're gonna see. David's just checking how many heals I think that he has, or how many triggers in general.
Yep. This is his first check, correct?
This is his first check.
All right.
So this is the big one.
He can evenly split it out if he wanted to.
So he's giving everything to the Shergo. He went from 10 to 30.
And then second check,
the Goblin.
Okay, Shergo's coming in as a beater. Does he go for the even out? He chooses to even out.
I do think that this is the right play.
Yep, coming in, damaging a meteor. 2 meteors of damage on. Oh my god.
That would have been such a advanced way of boosting with Baki Burrito.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and we have the double front. So that makes that 53. So Geo's staying in here. And so I think for Geo's sense that he wants to get this Interceptor off the board, not the Shergo. The Shergo I think is wasting more resources than normal. I think that he needs to get rid of the Stanner. No, he chooses to get rid of the Shergo.
Seems David is being cheered on by his group.
You gotta cheer him on, you know? You gotta have one person in your corner.
You hear that, David?
Oh, and Geo hits the OT. So the interesting part is now that all of these field triggers are now hitting. And I think that David did prepare for this. Yeah.
Oh, he had to give the million to the Vanguard. then goes for the rear guard, starting his turn. Is
You
David at 4 or 5?
He is at 4 from what I can tell.
All right, it looks like we're going into David's turn here.
He only has 5 in deck, so he does have to be careful.
Yep, and the Shirko is off the board.
As we see him looking around, he's a very calculated player and likes to make sure that he's doing the optimal thing.
How do you call 2 heals and then hit the over?
Hey, when you're blessed by the gods.
They come in crying.
Yep.
Or screeching.
So here we are with the Persona Ride. It is going to go down to 4 in deck. Just to check.
Could get the meteors up.
As I can see Gio's face over here, he is very confused, as I'm sure that you are.
Does he have a Shirko in hand?
So here's
Bucky
this.
Burrito.
He's got to have a plan no matter what.
What's he doing? Oh my
The
god.
goblin. There we are. Yep. I think it's funny is we did see him drive check it last turn. So I think that this is a good thing. That group video is one of those decks that, in the
Uses
sense,
everything from every Brandt Gate deck.
well, no, but also,
Except for Prison.
it does not draw a card when it swings. And you would think that it does from stacking any of it, but it doesn't.
So sacking 3, so he's able to pop the 2, give 15 to itself, a critical. And because a card was retired, both the Baki Burritos got an additional 5k, and there's the Persona right on the field. So everything's lethal. Or, sorry, not lethal. Everything's strong.
Everything is swole.
No guard, first check, second check, no triggers. Taking the damage, hitting a crit, hitting a critical.
Oh my. Hitting 2 damage.
33.
So what is this? This is
36.
36. And the other side is
30.
33.
Yep.
So they are both, he does have to guard.
Yeah, they're both 1 card from him. 5k guards. And there we go.
I definitely thought that Gio had, oh my god, he had a meteor and grip video.
That's crazy.
When you have all those rocks in your hand, you can
You
build
mean
a house.
bricks, right?
Nah, just literal rocks and meteors. When you have bricks in your hand, you can build a house.
Goes down to 2 cards left in deck. Huh? Look at David just staring at us. Hey, your boo's cheering you on. You hear that?
He's not listening to us. He has us tuned out. And I do think that this is where David has the huge weight off his shoulder now because he has game